Hello and welcome to episode 4 of the Dig Site podcast. My name is Danny. I'm joined, as always, by Mr. Ben J. Marsh.
What's up?
And the... Wait, oh my god. It can't be!
If you smell what the
Greg!
is cooking.
Greg!
Says,
Greg! Oh my god!
Greg,
It's the people's champ! The most electrifying man in podcast entertainment! It's the Greg! Greg, can you tell us how you're feeling?
Greg,
You really went all in on that one.
Oh, I was waiting for that.
Oh, oh time was spent.
Was it worth it?
Totally.
Yeah, I think so.
I enjoyed myself. Oh, good. All right. Breaking as of today, the Avengers Infinity War trailer is out. Watched against my will because I hate trailers. I hate watching trailers, and
Tough.
yeah, it looks really good. It looks really, really good. Yeah, Ben, what did you think?
Very excited. Very, very excited. It looks like it's going to be a fantastic, entertaining movie. Everyone's coming together. We've got Guardians right at the end of the trailer, just sneaking in there. So it's looking like we're going to get the whole universe together for the first time. Very, very excited.
Greg, any thoughts?
Oh, I didn't watch it. I don't like trailers.
Haha.
Aha.
Back off.
Yeah. I thought it was great. I'm really looking forward to it. The tone was a lot different than I was expecting it to be. I don't really know what I'm expecting. Maybe something a little bit more. I don't know, a little bit more razzle dazzle, a little bit more grand. But this was quite a somber thing. I think it was quite quiet music. Yeah, looks good.
Yeah, I think it
Feels
looks
like
really
it's going to be
good.
more serious.
At least for
Well,
this first half, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you were on the nail when you mentioned the other week that the first film is probably going to be them getting the shit beaten out of each other. Like Thanos is going to come in and just like wreck shit, and at the end of it, it's going to be like all hope is lost. Almost like trying to think of an analogy, something like oh fuck it, I don't know. Oh, something like end of Fellowship of the Ring. Lord of the Rings, where everything's not going great in the first film, and then you've got the redemption in the second film. I think that's probably what's going to take place here. It's going to be shit. It's the fan in the first film. Second film, there's a glimmer of hope. Things start building up, and I'm guessing that they win at the end. I'm guessing. Maybe
I feel as though there
Thanos-
might be some losses though.
I'd probably say Vision will die.
Well,
it's looking that way.
it's showing signs of that in there. And the other question we asked when we did the Thor Ragnarok podcast, whether did Loki have the Tesseract?
Yeah.
That's answered as well in his hand.
Yeah, it does.
I guess how would you see not how would you want to see some of these characters phased out? So your Captain Americas, your Hulks, your Thors. So they're gonna be gone in some.
I have a
capacity.
feeling Captain America's going to go. I feel as though this will be his last one.
Sacrifices himself.
Yeah, probably.
He looks sort of he's always full sort of beard, sort of out of the team now. He's like a broken sort of
Been in
part of the
exile
team.
for a long time.
Yeah, he's makes his appearance, but I feel as though that's a final appearance, and maybe like you say, he sacrificed himself as a bit of redemption for Tony or something like that. Then
Oh no, yeah, I definitely think it is like these guys aren't coming back after the second Infinity War film. Their contracts end. They aren't going to do anymore.
You don't
So I
think
think-
any of them will?
maybe one or two mine. I think Robert Downey Jr. is definitely out, isn't he? I think Chris Evans is going to be out. I don't know beyond that, but I think they're definitely not going to be taking any further parts. So I'd assume. I mean, they're sort of too big of a character to have him still living on,
Yeah.
and just not have him in part of the world, have him part of the new Avengers or whatever's going to happen next.
Mhm.
So you would assume that they're going to have to die, I guess,
Yeah.
sacrifice themselves to
Well,
take out
I
Thanos.
don't know if they have to die. I think not necessarily.
Well, I just think it's going to be a really weird one, where they've got the new Avengers led by Spider-Man, and shit's going down, and the world's ending, and they could be like, oh, we'll just call Captain America, you lot things, but they don't, because there is no Captain America actor anymore.
Yeah.
So how are they going to justify that?
Or maybe one of the other guys will take up the mantle, as they have in the comics.
Star-Lord. Star-Lord will do it.
I don't think Star-Lord will do it. But I know in the comics, Falcon has,
Yeah.
Bucky has. So there's potential avenues there for that.
But yeah,
They could
Falcon,
they could
Falcon's the
potentially be
first
in
one,
on the
isn't it?
Captain America, but none of the Iron Man. What does that?
No, not another Iron Man. You mentioned the Vision. I've assumed that he would die
For quite a while as well.
come this film, but I don't know. Maybe not. You seen the trailer? Him in a human form. Now is that him shapeshifting into a human form, or is that maybe him?
He still had
after-
the
after-
yellow light on his forehead at that point.
Yeah,
was
I think
was it
shapeshift.
the full stone, or was it maybe like remnants of it just remaining?
No, I think it's the
Yeah,
full
it's just-
thing.
Yeah,
'Cause,
I think I assumed it would be him shapeshifting into that, but
yeah, he already created his cloak, didn't he, in the
he did.
first,
Yeah.
in the second Avengers film.
Mm-hmm.
So he just kind of, I don't know.
It looked like that
he
was some
wanted
sort
a
of
cloak and
relationship
created one.
coming
Yeah.
about
Oh,
there as well.
100%.
Well, so this is definitely
Yeah.
a thing in the comic books, isn't it? And I'm aware that is it his death kicks off a big series called the House of M, I think it's
right.
called,
Okay.
and it's where Scarlet Witch's powers like go mental and go really strong,
I see.
and she starts like altering the universe in crazy ways.
Almost like Jean Grey when she goes nuts.
Yeah, something like that. So Wanda's powers go haywire because of the loss, because of the emotional loss, and shit happens.
Yeah, there's bound to be
I don't know anymore.
bound to be some deaths in this film. There's a shot of Tony. Looks like he's in the streets somewhere. It's all kind of been destroyed. And he's holding onto a hand. Looks like he might be kissing the hand. I don't know. Who do you think that could be? It looks like someone obviously close to Tony in some capacity. Maybe it is Cap.
Pepper.
I was thinking it could be Pepper. Could be Hogan.
Might need to check that bit out again. I didn't notice that bit.
It's not on screen for too long.
I think I recognise the part you're on about, but I didn't recognise the hand. So
Yeah, he's
That's
holding a hand. The hand looks dirty. It's kind of yellowy looking. Yeah,
So what they're gonna need to do
could be
is
Happy Hogan.
they're gonna need to provide motivation, maybe individually for each of these characters.
Mhm.
So a loss drives them to go back and fight on in the second film.
And I think the Vision
So-
could provide that.
Tony loses Pepper. Wanda loses. Scarlet Witch loses Vision. Hulk loses his clothes. I don't know.
yeah, nothing's happening to Hulk.
All right, let's talk Punisher. That's been out a little over a week, 2 weeks, read about. I know Ben isn't really caught up on the Netflix shows yet. The fucking dick. But this was a really, really great show.
Yeah.
Fantastic, violent at times.
Arguably not as violent as I was expecting it to be.
I don't know. I didn't have any I didn't go in with expectations, so there were moments where I was like, holy shit. You know, at times rivals Quentin Tarantino.
I think that if you look at his kind of body count in Daredevil, I think it's probably higher than it is in this. Because he slaughters like rooms of people en masse, doesn't he, in Daredevil? So he probably racks up a higher body count there.
Yeah, maybe.
But this wasn't quite as violent as I was expecting it to be, and it was nothing like I was expecting it to be, really.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was very different in tone from any Marvel anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He didn't feel like a superhero.
Not at all.
Didn't feel whatsoever like a superhero. I suppose he's not supposed to be a superhero. He didn't feel whatsoever like...
vigilante.
It felt very divorced from, I guess, the world of the Defenders, the world of Iron Fist.
Oh,
Can you
God,
imagine? Can you imagine the Punisher and Iron Fist meeting each other? So it felt a million miles away from that. Obviously, it had the link being Karen to Daredevil.
Yeah.
But really, not much happened beyond her being there, her being a character, her being already an established character. Oh,
Yeah.
The black police
Yeah,
officer as well.
Yeah, he was in Daredevil.
Beyond that, I can't think of anybody else.
Not off the top of my head, no. But yeah, it was a great story. Superbly acted. John Berthol, just outstanding as Frank Castle. I think
tonally as an exploration of like PTSD.
Man,
it was pretty heavy hitting.
There's some
at times.
some
Jesus
real
Christ.
shit in this.
Like the radicalization. Sorry, spoilers, Ben. The radicalization of the younger white fella. I forget his name. The slow descent into radicalization, and you can see how he's sort of losing grip of what things are real to him, and the PTSD is just wrecking him.
Yeah. Hard. Yeah, kind of hard to watch in some parts.
Yeah, heavy
for
hitting.
that. Yeah, it's just some real heavy shit. It tackles. Yeah, I can't praise this show enough. It was outstanding.
I enjoyed it a lot. I do have my criticisms, though they're not really strong ones.
Okay, go on.
I would have a criticism again that it did feel too long. They seem to be dead set on sticking to this 13 episode format, and I think for any other series, the Defenders didn't do 13 episodes, did it?
I don't think so.
For any other series, barring Daredevil, it's felt too long.
Right.
So for Luke Cage, it was 6 episodes too long. For Jessica Jones, it was probably the same.
Yeah, Jessica Jones started to drag a little bit.
For Iron Fist, it was 13 episodes too long. But this I didn't think there was much fat to trim on this, but maybe an episode or two we could have condensed. It felt like they spent a lot of time in this little bunker that they had set up.
Yeah.
And I get that in these scenes they're doing character development, they're exploring.
And I enjoyed it a lot the interplay between Frank and the new character Micro.
Yeah.
Really good stuff. Yeah, I mean, I can see where you're coming from, but with it being a little long. But I didn't. There wasn't an episode that I didn't enjoy. I never felt like it was dragging.
I felt Madani, the Homeland Security agent, I felt her justification for wanting to explore Frank's past and what happened in Afghanistan. I felt that was a little bit thin, because they introduced that she was a bit like a dog with a bone, and they brought in the older guy, her mentor, who sort of said, "Oh, I've bailed you out of going down this avenue before. Don't do it again. Don't make the same mistakes." But obviously, she was onto something. Then she was onto Frank Castle.
Yeah.
So there was going to be developments, but I thought that her justification going down this, I'm sure there was one there, but it just didn't seem to come through very clearly as to why she was chasing that line of questioning in the first place, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Why was she even looking into that in the first place?
To be honest, if there's any part of the show that I did feel was dragging, was just about any scene with Madonna. and the Homeland Security, like just any,
Yeah.
you know, them in the offices talking. Like it felt like I was watching a different show. Well,
So
it feels like I'm
I
watching
didn't
Law and Order or some shit. I was just bored.
yeah I didn't quite like her relationship with. Oh, sorry, I'm terrible at names.
Russo.
Russo. I didn't quite like her relationship with Russo. I don't think that was really needed.
Mm.
And also in regards to Russo as well, when they first introduced him, I wasn't aware that he was a comic book character.
Right.
I wasn't aware prior to this. So when they first introduced him, and he seemed quite a sympathetic character,
Mhm.
and I sat and thought they're gonna turn this guy. This guy's gonna be two-faced. He's gonna turn
Yeah,
face,
yeah.
and he's gonna be. And I almost didn't want him to do it because it felt cliched.
Right. Right.
I thought it feels really obvious, and obviously I wasn't aware that he's a bad guy in the comic books. I thought he might have just been new or something.
I can just kind of tell with the actor. He's got that kind of smarminess about him.
Absolutely, yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. And I just thought this feels like it's the obvious route, and I kind of want them to buck that trend.
Right. Right.
And obviously they didn't, and that's fine. You know, it turned out, and
Yeah.
they're exploring him as a character, so you would assume that they're gonna explore him further. There is a season 2 planned, I think.
Yeah. I
At
would
some
assume
point.
So yeah.
So you would assume that they're going to explore him a little bit further, which is fine. He can be the main villain of season 2. But I thought there was a little bit cliched in that moment, perhaps. It almost reminded me of a weird thing to call upon, the Shining. So
Okay.
Stephen King, when he saw Kubrick's version of The Shining, was disappointed,
Right.
and he thought the casting of Jack Nicholson wasn't good casting, because the way he wrote the character was that his descent into madness was completely unexpected
Yeah.
and completely out of the blue, whereas Jack Nicholson, just by virtue of being Jack Nicholson, is almost a little bit unhinged anyway.
Yeah.
So any scene, he's always got that edge to him where he's just this little bit of craziness running through him. So he felt that it was too obvious early doors that this guy was going to go off the rails.
Right. Right. Yeah.
And like you said, this guy that they've cast here, he's a bit of a smarmy bloke. He's got that little, that little gleam in his eye where he's like, yeah, this guy's a bad guy. He's not going to be good.
Yeah. Yeah. Of course, he was in Westworld as well. Similar kind of
as
smarmy character.
as a bad guy.
As a bad guy, yeah. He's great in that role. Yeah, I loved this show. John Bernthal is outstanding as Frank. He's so good in that alpha male type character. I've not seen him in too much else. Obviously, he was Shane in The Walking Dead.
His throat must really hurt.
Yeah, well, this is what I wanted to touch on. Like, there's moments as he's getting into it and he's getting pumped, he fucking grunts and growls and shit. Like, he's so good at it. Yeah, fantastic show.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, Justice League. We saw this about 2 weeks ago, something like that. I went into this. I really wanted to love it, and I just can't. I left ultimately disappointed. I've always been a little more attached to DC characters. I've always liked. I don't want to just say Batman because everyone fucking loves Batman, but I've always kind of gravitated to like Superman, and I like the Flash, and I like Green Arrow. I know he's not in this, but I like these characters, and it was great to see them on screen for the first time coming together. There were moments in this movie that I thought were great, but the movie as a whole I feel is rushed, incoherent in parts. I know there's been extensive reshoots, and I think it shows. It's not a bad movie, but I don't think it had so much potential, and I don't think it lived up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
go.
if you summed it up in one word, it's going to be rushed, isn't it?
For sure.
They're just trying to play catch up far too much with Marvel. I agree. I echo a lot of your statements. I thought, particularly the first half of the film was really, really quick.
Yeah.
The introduction of these characters, they had to introduce, what was it, three characters: Aquaman, Cyborg, and
The
the
Flash,
Flash, who
yeah.
we'd never seen on screen before. So they had to,
Very briefly in those little cam footage in BVS,
yeah.
but that's
So they had to jam them in as efficiently as possible, give them, or attempt to give them, some sort of motivation, which just didn't really exist, and then try to build something grand off the back of that, and it didn't really work.
No.
And it's a shame. I feel the same. I'm not as quite as attached to DC as you are, though I do love Batman.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with that cliche.
I mean, everyone loves Batman. It's hard not to.
Yeah, but it was an entertaining enough film. I don't feel like I wasted money or wasted time going watching it.
Yeah.
But was it a good film? No. Was it an okay film? Yeah.
Yeah. It wasn't a bad film.
Yeah. Let's see where they take it, though. Ticket sales aren't looking great, so
I
maybe
really
they'll
hope
have to curtail the plans a little bit.
I really hope now they can just put the brakes on a bit, slow down, take the time, and flesh out these characters. You know, they did that with Wonder Woman, and you know, look how well that went down. And I think this movie is also a bit of a product of the time. It's, you know, the time in which production started, which was before Wonder Woman. So they're still in this kind of Batman v Superman play catch up mode, rush through, and so we, you know, with it coming out after Wonder Woman, it feels a little inconsistent. Doesn't feel like the same type of movie. I'm hoping from here on out, any future movies can really, take its time and explore the character and tell a better story. Ben, do you want to give us your thoughts?
Yeah, I am still here. Certain characters disappointed me as well. Flash, probably one of them, or the mostly out of all of them. They gimmicked him up. They tried to make him a comedic character. It just didn't feel right for him. His parts, every single thing was a joke. The Flash being this guy who can realistically alter time. He can run that fast,
Yeah.
but this guy falls on his face tripping over a stone.
Mm-hmm.
Bugger off.
Well, that doesn't really bother me too much. This is a young Barry Allen. He's not fully, you know, used to his powers yet. I think he's still learning. I think if the, you know, the post credits scene tells us with his little race with Superman that he's definitely not at full capacity yet. I know what you mean though. They did comedy him up a little bit.
I think I agree really strongly. I think there's no problem having him have comedic elements to him, because that's the character, isn't it? He's very comedic in the comics, very comedic in whatever medium he's appeared in. But to have that all of what he is,
and sometimes it
pretty
works.
much just exclusively just comedic relief.
Yeah, sometimes it worked, but yeah, a lot of times it fell flat on face. I think one of the moments where I was a bit like, ugh, it was a moment when he met Wonder Woman, and she said, you know, "Hello, Barry, my name's Diana," and he said it back to her. He said, "Oh, yeah, hi, Barry, I'm Diana," back to her, because he was like supposed to be flustered or whatever, and that kind of fell flat. A moment that I did really like, however, was when we got Superman back, and he thought, okay, I'll just run around the back of him and push him over, whatever, and then, you know, Superman just looks at him in the Speed Force, and his face was just complete shock. I thought that was a really great moment. I liked that a lot.
Yeah, but that was because he was looking serious. At that point, he had a serious look. It wasn't a joke.
I don't know. He had a bit of a goofy face on and mouth wide open, and I thought that was a funny moment. Superman looked serious as shit. Superman was one of my biggest disappointments in this film, mostly because of his stupid CGI fucking face.
But isn't there a point with these things where, again, it's tonally confused because you're doing quite a serious scene where Superman's just been resurrected from the fucking dead?
Yeah, definitely, and that's one of the big.
He has
problems.
no idea where he is. He's pissed. He's fucking confused. Whatever else.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have, oh, we'll just show on this comedic scene where Barry Allen fucking gets scared because Superman can see him do stuff. There's a time and a place for that kind of stuff.
I know what you're saying, but I think that one.
Think it was in that scene.
I think that one in particular did work. There are moments in this film where it didn't need to be. Didn't need to be a funny moment.
Sure.
But I thought that one worked in itself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought he was incredibly one-dimensional beyond the comedic aspect of it,
Yeah.
and he doesn't. I think it's a disservice to the character.
Yeah.
Like you said,
I agree.
I hope that they put the brakes on.
Yep.
And that they explore these characters more fully and give them some motivation, give us some justification for what they're doing, and maybe actually make them a little bit, in Barry Allen's case, a little bit more competent at what he's doing.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, it was a part of the scene, wasn't it, where he's saying, I'm terrified, I can't do anything, and Batman just tells him, go and save one person, and then you'll know what to do after you've done that. And that's all that he did for the entire film, and that's an important role, sure, but it's hardly contributing to, the team in the same level as even Batman, who has no powers whatsoever. It's not even contributing to the same level as Batman.
Mm-hmm.
Let's be honest though, if Barry Allen wasn't there, or the Flash wasn't there, the only thing that would have been different in that movie was those truckload of people at the end wouldn't have made it.
Well, if anybody other than Superman wasn't there,
Absolutely.
what would have changed?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, true.
Yeah, that goes for just about every one of these characters.
The entire plot, the entire way to save the world, the entire plot was, let's revive Superman and he'll do it for us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was almost comical at the end, where Superman was back on full power, and it was just, this guy's a bitch.
Yeah.
He's nothing in comparison to Superman. Would kill him in his sleep. He just doesn't stand a chance.
Mm-hmm.
Superman's too powerful. He's
You know
always
what though?
It's always been a case in comic books for me. Superman he needs artificial ways to drag him down, because otherwise he's just too powerful.
Mm-hmm.
And artificial being kryptonite, of course.
Yeah. Do you know what though? The greatest parts of that movie were actually when they weren't in it. Any of those characters, I really enjoyed the scene when the sort of like the portals are coming down and he's taking the blocks from different parts of from Atlantis and from the Amazonians. That sort of like, oh shit, shit's going down. Those guys aren't in it. The Amazonians are fighting back. The Atlanteans are fighting back. I enjoyed that bit.
They were cool moments. I won't go as far as to say that the only great moments of that movie was without the characters, though.
No, I think there was some good set piece moments.
There was some good moment, but I don't know. I'm disappointed by it.
But I
As you
like
said,
those
I'm
scenes that you
disappointed.
said.
I think the strongest character we had throughout the entire thing was Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
And
Again,
I think that
yeah.
that's on the back of her film, so
Yeah,
she's got
yeah.
development, and then the scenes that it makes sense. She's
Yeah,
doing what she's doing.
She seemed the most true to
So-
her character so far.
Her scenes felt better. Superman was not really in it much other than showing up and just beating the shit out of the bad guy.
Mhm.
Batman, I've already described my thing with Batman. I really like Batman. This guy didn't feel like Batman.
Yeah.
He didn't feel true to the comic book character. Batman has no powers, and he compensates that. Not just compensates, overcompensates for that by just being just like the puppet master of always got a plan B.
His
always got
confidence.
something.
He's got serious confidence, but he just in that he just felt
I mean, yeah, Batman's
Split.
Batman's
yeah.
plan B was revive Superman. That was his plan. Oh, we'll revive Superman. He'll do it for us. And then the Flash just had paper thin justification. Cyborg even less. And finally Aquaman, who I really like the casting. I think what's his face was great as that.
Yeah, Jason Momoa.
However, I think there's a big cut scene where he goes down to Atlantis, which I assume it was Atlantis, when he's under the water.
Yeah.
And he goes and tries to get the box. And then he says, okay, I'll protect Atlantis. So we're getting the idea that he's not been at Atlantis for a while.
Mhm.
He left. okay, I'll protect Atlantis, but I'll need something first, and then I assume that they gave him the suit and the trident.
Yeah.
But it doesn't tell you that.
Yeah, there's definitely a chunk
Mm.
cut there. Yeah, you can
And
tell.
then you just get his rubbish sort of lines every so often. The dialogue was god awful at parts,
My
particularly
man.
for him. Yeah.
Shit.
And then
Yeah.
finally, the way they revealed his justifications for what he's doing was by having the most cliched fucking trick in the book is, oh, she tied him with his lasso of truth. Oh, now he's pouring his heart out and he's telling us why he's here. It's, oh, Jesus Christ. It just treated the audience like an idiot.
hmm
And that was a shame.
Yeah, yeah. As I said, these characters had so much potential, and yeah, it didn't deliver in this cut at least. Now, what I'm really hoping for is there to be a Zack Snyder extended edition like there was with Batman v Superman, because the extended edition of that movie was way more coherent. There was more story in there. It made more sense overall. I'm really hoping that we're going to get an extended edition with the all the scenes that were cut.
Yeah.
Um,
The problem is though is if the extended edition is going to be better, that's the one that needed to be shown.
absolutely, for sure, yeah.
DC
don't-
needs to build up some steam. It needs a success. It needs a win. So
Yeah.
it got a win with Wonder Woman, but it wasn't a massive win. It wasn't an Avengers kind of win. It just needs to build up some steam. It needs to build up something that gives the audience justification to come back for the next film and then the next
Yeah.
film and then the next film. And this just wasn't there.
Yeah.
So if by the time the DVD comes out with complete with all the extras that make it a more coherent and complete film,
Mhm.
a lot of people, it's only the fans that are going to buy that.
Yeah.
So you've lost so many people. You've lost maybe 70 to 80% of your audience, maybe even more, who aren't just going to go and buy the DVD.
Yeah.
It really needed to be on the screen, not in DVD extras.
Yeah, I completely agree. I wish they would, but
I try and I would judge a movie on my reaction, like as you just said about the DVD. I would judge my opinion on a movie by how I react when it comes out. And we've said this before about when we said about Tomb Raider. Would we watch it? Would we not buy it? Would we buy it? We'd rent it, etc., etc. I generally buy movies I really enjoy as soon as they come out. Now, with this, I will probably get it, but only because I've got Man of Steel, because I've got Batman v Superman, and hopefully they improve. So I'll have something in the middle, but it will not be something that I will buy as soon as it comes out. It will be down the line, hopefully as a present, so I won't have to buy it myself. But it will be. I'll be looking for an offer at some point on buy one get one free, and it'll be the freebie. It was disappointing.
I think in some regards, for me at least, I mean, there's 5 DC films now, isn't there? Is that right?
yeah.
So Man of Steel, Batman vs Superman, this, Wonder Woman, and Suicide Squad.
Yeah, there we go. That's what I was missing.
To which all 4 I bought when they came out.
It's a number 3, maybe even a number 2 for me.
Okay.
What do you
Wonder
mean?
Woman at the top.
Oh, in order.
Yeah, in order of preference. So Wonder Woman at the top, then it and sort of Man of Steel, and then the rest.
Solid 5.
So you'd put Justice League over Batman v Superman?
No, I put it right at the bottom.
Oh, sorry.
Be right at the bottom. My top one is between. Well, so it'd be probably Wonder Woman, to be honest. Wonder Woman, and then it'd be tied between Batman v Superman and Suicide Squad. Then it'd be Man of Steel. Then it'd be this pile of shite.
I think for me, I'd put Batman v Superman at the top. I know it got a lot of hate, and rightfully so in some parts, but I really enjoyed it actually.
I think that might be my bottom.
Right.
Batman vs Superman. Bottom or 4th, I'm not sure. It or Suicide Squad.
A lot of people don't like that darker tone, but that works for me actually.
Yeah, it works.
Yeah, yeah, I don't mind that a lot at all. And it, and also again for the reason because I'm a huge fucking mark for this shit. I just like seeing these characters on screen for the first time. So seeing that Batman as well, that Ben Affleck Batman in that fucking suit, because I love it. I love the aesthetic of that. That's the most comic-y Batman comic book
Yeah,
Batman
he
there
looks
has
great, yeah.
been. Looks awesome. Fights
The
like
way
him.
that started as well, that was great.
Yeah,
But he was a much better Batman in Batman vs Superman than he was in this, I thought.
for sure. Yeah, I completely.
Oh,
He
agree.
God,
felt
yeah.
he felt more true to the character. He felt like this kind of mysterious,
Yeah,
always got a plan,
yeah.
beats the fuck out of Superman. And this, he just didn't really feel like he had any of that.
Yeah.
Well, so yeah, he could do that in that. He was putting up a fight with Superman. Batman v Superman. They were on level terms because he was using kryptonite.
Mhm.
But it felt like an equal match. Whereas in this, he's like, oh, I need Superman. I can't do this. I need Superman. So you've been fighting him, so you can do it.
I don't know.
Just
I don't think
figure
it
it
did
out.
feel. I don't think it did feel equal. I think Batman kicked the shit out of Superman,
Well, he did, yeah.
dominated him.
Yeah.
But I guess to just go back to this one, the villain felt like a worthy villain in the first half of the film when he
Yeah,
was
and then it just
when he was
split
in
in the
one of
middle.
your, when he was in your favorite, like you said, your favorite scene, Ben.
Yeah.
Where he
Yeah,
was,
just swatting
he
Amazonians.
was
and,
yeah, it was
slaughtering
absolutely
the
annihilating them.
Amazonians.
yeah,
And then he comes to the end, and he's just getting slapped,
yeah.
Yeah,
and then gets taken over by his own minions.
Mm.
And then also, I guess it was like Aquaman was even fighting him toe to toe in the
Yeah.
second half. So it feels like he'd been severely depowered.
Yeah.
Suddenly in the second half of the film without
Yeah,
any
because
justification for it.
Halfway through the movie, I said it to you guys when I came out. Aquaman felt so weak that he couldn't even stop. He's the controlling of water. He can control water, but he couldn't stop a wall of water that was coming down a tunnel.
There was
I
a
was like-
line in the there's a line in the trailers that wasn't actually in the film, as far as I'm aware, that said it was kind of like a voiceover line, and I assume it was from Steppenwolf or something, or maybe it was from Darkseid. And he said, "This world is like ready for the taking. No Kryptonian, no lanterns."
Yeah.
And I was expecting that to be in the film. And then, can you imagine how shit he felt like Superman? He's like, "Oh fuck." It's like, I thought he was dead, dude. Oh, well.
We did get a sneak peek at a lantern though in the
Yeah, and I like
Yeah.
that a
in
lot.
the
That
in
was,
the
that was
scenes
cool.
going back.
So, and we're going to be getting a Green Lantern core movie too.
Okay.
Who are they gonna cast?
I don't know who's
as
cast.
Hal Jordan?
Hal
Or
Jordan. The other
who's
one.
the other guy? The black guy.
Yeah,
What's
the
he
black
called?
guy. I can't remember his fucking name.
I remember
Mark
he was more in
Wahlberg,
the
yeah,
cartoon.
woo.
You said Mark Wahlberg.
Is he been cast?
Surely not.
No.
Oh, that'd be a terrible
Don't-
choice.
Yeah. Don't frighten me like that.
Ryan Reynolds getting back. Way. No, don't.
I don't think it was his fault that movie was so bad, but
No.
no.
No. No, the CGI. Good God, made me eyes bleed too much.
But yeah, we're
He's
getting.
probably got a non-compete clause anyway. No, he's with Marvel.
Yeah, yeah, you're
Or-
probably right.
Not Marvel, with Fox. Sorry, not Marvel.
Right, yep. Of course. Yeah, we are going to be getting a bunch of movies coming forward that have been announced. So Green Lantern Corps. I think we're getting a Man of Steel sequel. I think, yeah, obviously we're going to be getting the Batman movie. With Deathstroke as the villain.
That's in development hell though, isn't it?
Currently, it is, yeah.
Not even determined that Ben Affleck's going to be in it.
Surely, come on.
I to be honest, I think that this franchise is in serious trouble. I think there was a news article that came out the other day that it cost a ridiculous amount of money to make, and it made like 350 million up until like last week, which is fuck all for a movie of its caliber. And it's just like they have all these grand plans. Are these now Warner Brothers going to step back and say, listen, this isn't actually making us as much money as we anticipated. Maybe we shouldn't spend as much money on film A, B, C, D through Z. Batman seems to be in a bad place. Development hell. Who's writing it? Who's starring in it? Ben Affleck's already seeming to want to bow out of the role. It's like his second film in, and he already
Is he
wants to
though,
leave.
or I feel like people are just kind of projecting that on him. He came
Well,
out.
no,
He came out
there-
himself
there
and,
was a
and
quote.
said that I'm not stepping down at all. Like I want to be Batman.
Well, no, there was a quote that he said that he was. He wasn't good at saying he was stepping down, but he was saying something along the lines of, "Even when I started it, I've been looking for a way to pull out." And maybe that just means it could be, no, I've been looking for a good way to write how I pull out in 8 years' time.
Yeah.
In 8 films' time. It might just be that. However, if he's thinking about that right from the
But
offset, then
Is that why they put it in this movie as well?
What?
That little quote when he's talking to Alfred. It's
yeah,
like they're both going, well, you can't do this forever, and then he's like, I don't intend
Yeah.
to do it.
this
Yeah.
Batman's an old guy. This
Yeah.
Batman's
Yeah,
way past his prime.
Yeah. 20 years in.
Yeah, so I mean Ben Affleck at this point is what? He's like mid-40s, I guess.
Yeah, around that.
So to maintain such a rigorous sort of physical to keep up with the rigorous physical demands of playing Batman,
Mhm.
you know, big buff kind of muscly guy, that's going to get harder and harder. And, you know,
Yeah.
in a few years' time, he's going to be 50. And you would assume if they want to emulate Marvel, that this series is going to keep going for another, God knows, well,
10.
I mean, Marvel's 20 films in, and they've got another 20 films planned, so it might be a 30-year saga for Marvel. So if DC want to do a 30-year thing, then we're gonna have an 80-year-old Ben Affleck. And obviously, he's gonna have phased out or replaced by that point. But you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
they cast an older guy, he can't do it forever.
Mhm.
Whereas Henry Cavill's got more mileage in him. I guess he's
Yeah.
like early 30s or something like that.
I hope Ben can continue for a while at least.
I really like him, and I'd
yeah.
like to see him,
I think
like
he
you said,
plays
in
him
this
very well.
solo movie.
Yeah.
I want to see where we can go with this. What characters we can explore. Like you said, we're going to explore Deathstroke.
Yeah.
Maybe throw some other characters we've not seen on the big screen before, or maybe I know your favorite idea would be the Riddler.
Who's
Just,
favorite idea?
just yeah, you was a big fan of having the Riddler back, weren't you, in a Batman film?
I don't know if it's my favorite, but yeah, I mean, I like
David
the
Tennant.
Riddler a lot. Yeah, David Tennant's been my pick for Riddler for like the past 10 years. I think he
Yeah,
should
so
God, that'd work really well.
wouldn't it just? Right?
That would work really well.
Fucking A, yeah, absolutely.
but yeah, I think we need some alone time with Batman to make him feel like Batman again. To have him operating Gotham. To have this sort of like dark tonal film set in Gotham. There was a scene right at the beginning actually that felt more like Batman when he was on the guy was on the roof with the sniper rifle and he went and beat the fuck out of him.
Yeah.
That felt like more like Batman. You know, this dark, almost like noir, film noir sort of atmosphere. That felt like Batman, and the rest didn't.
Uh-huh.
So
I know
let's
what you're
do
saying,
that.
yeah.
Let's do more of that.
I really liked that moment in the movie where we had that little snippet of the original Batman '89 theme as he drops down from the roof and talks to Gordon. That was cool.
Yeah, there was a bit when he was in the car as well, wasn't he? When he was in his
I didn't catch it if there was.
in the final scene, it did a bit of a turn on the music.
Right. I know you mentioned there was like snippets of the Superman theme as well, wasn't there?
I don't know if it was necessarily of the Superman film or maybe just the what they call it, the motif.
Right.
But I suppose that's the same thing anyway.
Yeah,
so.
I didn't catch that either. There's a couple Wonder Woman theme references. That cool guitar.
That's
Yeah,
another thing.
that's-
Again,
that's
I know
I missed that.
That's so good.
I'm going on and on, but the music in this just wasn't good.
No.
Yeah,
The-
it was pretty flat.
The previous films have had some fucking fantastic music. The Wonder Woman theme in Batman vs Superman was brilliant. The new version of the Superman film theme done by Hans Zimmer, great as well. Loved that.
Yeah.
But this just didn't have anything. This did not have any punch to the music. And I know that that's a criticism of the Marvel films as well, that a lot of the Marvel themes sound samey because they're all sort of a variation on the Avengers theme.
Yeah.
And it's a criticism that it's not unique enough. However, this just didn't have an identity whatsoever with the sound design,
Yeah.
other than using Icky Thump.
Yeah,
And,
that was a cool bit.
They did another one, didn't they? Another licensed track.
I can't remember.
I think they used another licensed track that stood out, but yeah, mainly just Icky Thump. But that's I like that song.
Yeah.
But that's not a comic book song. I want them to have their own grand themes that we play.
Right, yeah, I know what you're saying. It worked though. That song, I like the use of it. It was good.
It was good in the trailer, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But I know what you're saying. Yeah, I'd
Felt
like
more
it to
like
be,
a trailer thing.
I'd like it to be a big grand epic, kind of Hans Zimmer style. Yeah, score.
Yeah, I mean, there's plenty of guys. Danny Elfman's done Batman in the past. Obviously, that was Danny Elfman's theme that did. Get him to do some. Just do a variation. Bring the Batman theme up to date. Keep the same beats. Do whatever, but just modernize it a little bit. Give it a little bit of a twist.
So we were mentioning the Batman film and Deathstroke. Deathstroke, who appears in the post-credits scene alongside Lex Luthor. They mentioned that and then Lex mentions that they should start a league of their own. Maybe a reference to maybe the Injustice League, full of bad guys.
Was that a thing?
I believe so.
Oh God, they should sack the writer.
Or
Jeez.
I think the other one is the Legion of Doom.
I really loved his costume.
Yeah, he looks great.
Great. I hate Jesse Eisenberg though.
I don't hate him.
Oh, no, I like him.
And I haven't even given up on the character yet. I know lots of people really dislike him, and there's plenty to dislike. But I don't know. I'm not ready to give up on his Lex just yet. Same with the Joker. I feel I want to see more of them.
I preferred Kevin Spacey's Lex Luthor, and that was awful as well.
Oof.
I don't know who they could cast. I have no idea, but just not Jesse Eisenberg. Jesus Christ.
David Tennant.
David Tennant. I know. Everyone wanted.
He's got some good range.
Bryan Cranston as Lex.
I had the image that you're gonna say Brian Blessed then, and he's just
I
like.
know. I thought
he's got his beard and just a bald head. And he's like, I'm Lex Luthor.
Just constantly laughing.
But yeah, tons of people wanted Bryan Cranston, and I'm sure he would have been great. But I feel like people were just picking him because he's known for playing a bald guy.
Yeah. No, he would have been better than Jesse Eisenberg.
But he would have been great. Let's be honest. Yeah. So, yeah, films upcoming. Like I said, Green Lantern Corps, Superman 2, Batman. I think Wonder Woman 2. We're getting a Flashpoint movie. Fingers crossed we're going to get that fucking Batman Flashpoint story. I would love that.
Or his parents aren't dead.
Yeah, where Martha becomes the Joker and stuff. That would be cool as shit. But yeah, again, a Flashpoint film, so hopefully we can explore more of the Flash in that and his relationship with his father and all that kind of thing. I'm pessimistic. I'm pessimistic by nature, but I'm trying to stay optimistic for this film universe. I really want it to be good, and like I've said a bunch of times now, it has so much potential. I feel like they can still pull it back and create something good. So I'm staying optimistic that they will.
I'm kind of the opposite, I guess. I've been pessimistic about it since I heard that they were going to do it, and I do want them to succeed, but I've just got such little investment in them at the moment. Yeah. I almost don't care if they don't, because if they fail and they wrap it up and they okay, we're done, they can get on to producing maybe some more Batman films or some more individual films that I think that think they probably got more mileage in them.
Yeah, because the Christian Bale, Christopher Nolan Batmans were just phenomenal.
And it just seems such a waste as well. Like
it seems just
there's-
gone down.
there's some great actors in these films, and they must be paying them a fuck ton. I mean, Amy Adams, for it in particular, is wasted. It's just she must just show up like on a weekend and just do her scenes and then fuck off.
Yeah.
And then go home and laugh.
Yeah, because they just throw money at her. Because good God, she's wasted in these films. And I like Henry Cavill. I like the casting in him, and I like Ben Affleck, and I like Jason Momoa, and I like Gal Gadot. But there's just nothing to pull me into this world. And I've never really been a big DC guy outside of Batman. But then again, I've never been a big Marvel guy, and I'm well bought into the Marvel stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just disappointment. I anticipate more disappointment. This
Did you not?
film was
you not-
arguably better than I was expecting it to be, but that's because my bar was really low.
Did you not mention the Flash then when you went through the thingy because you didn't like him, or just because you can't remember his name?
Barry Allen.
No, as in the casting for the Flash. You mentioned everyone else. 'Cause
I
you
have
like,
no idea the actor's name.
but did you like him?
He was unremarkable.
Okay.
He was okay. I don't think he was bad. But he like I said, he was just one tone, wasn't he? He was just, aha, how funny. Yeah, look at him, he's a joke. And that was all that there was to him. So he didn't really have a chance to act.
Yeah. I liked him. I think they can explore the character more with him, and I think he'll do well.
I think he'd do better on his own.
Well, yeah. I think they all will, to be honest. Like, not as part of this ensemble.
It remains to be seen, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they can dial back the comedy on the Flash a little bit. I mean, the first time we saw the Flash was during that little dream sequence of Batman's, as he comes out of the thing to him, he's like, Bruce, find us, you know.
Yeah.
No.
He's a different sort of Flash.
I don't know what I'm trying to say. With using
No,
that as an example.
I do. No, because that was a serious, that was a scared, that was a
yeah, that's where I'm going.
a demanding and sort of. This is what we need you to do. Listen to this,
Yeah.
and then it's the other way. It's whether that's Barry Allen from 30 years after, or whether, but obviously it doesn't look any different. He's the same age, so we can't be that much of a learning curve. But and I know exactly what you're saying there. That Barry Allen from that dream sequence was a completely different Barry Allen to what we got in the movie.
Yeah. Yeah, and obviously that's a future Barry Allen that we were seeing. So this is a young kid. The powers are new to him. Again, I'm optimistic. I think they can do something a lot more with the Flash, and I think he will. I hope he will, become a better character in future installments. It would have sucked if, like, in that sequence, like, he was like, Bruce, find us.
My man.
Your fly's open. See it. That would have sucked.
Yeah.
But yeah. Right, yeah. I think we're done. Shall we wrap?
Yeah, I got nothing else to say on that.
All right. This has been episode 4 of the Dig Site podcast, and we will speak with you soon.